What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now this is an artist that I'm guessing you guys won't have heard of, or maybe you have heard before, but me personally, I'm only being made aware of this artist through my new Patreon tier that allows you guys to suggest an artist via the tier. I react to it, give my completely honest, unfiltered opinions. Whether or not you guys agree or disagree, that's the whole fun of it, okay? So this artist today is called Dygn, or Dygn, and I have some backstory on this track before we jump into it. So I will just read out exactly what the track name is and the description of the track, and then we're going to check it out. Again, completely objective opinions here. I honestly don't care if I hurt the person's feelings. As grim as that sounds, this whole tier is going to be based around integrity. And if I just start saying I like something for the sake of it because a tier has been purchased on Patreon, it completely defeats the purpose of people actually buying the tier in the first place. So guys, if you want to make use of the tier, all the links are in the description, patreon.com/DrewFortune. But let's get into Peter, or the artist in question. His artist name is Dygn, and this is Peter. I'm guessing that's maybe his second name. I'm not entirely sure. So this is Eigengrau, which is, I think, in Swedish. I'm not entirely sure. Let me just double check. German, I believe. I've typed in Eigengrau and it says grey. Peter's own description is Eigengrau. It's all grey. It actually means the greyish tone you see when in complete darkness. This is by far my most out there track with all sorts of sound effects, tones, etc. It's a 3-part track, all with an underlying theme / style. This song was actually written entirely in my head whilst in Sweden with my brother. Okay, so if it was entirely thought up in Sweden, there's got to be at least a chance that this is going to be a banger, because Sweden, good music in general. I'm pretty sure ABBA are from Sweden, so we're on to something here, okay? This track is a portrayal of the freedom I felt after the breakup, which the other track which he suggested, which we're not going to do, was my soundtrack for. In that, I really let my inner style just come out, and it came out as really dark and bleak sounding track overall. Okay guys, so that's the description of this track. I believe from the comments that Truant, the OG of YouTube reactions, actually would have reacted to this before, because I can see people in the comments saying, wow, just came out from Truant's channel, very textured, and the melodies are incredibly sweet and catchy. Again, wow. So this will be interesting. We are reigniting this track through my own channel. So guys, if you do like it, head on over to the link in the description. I'll put the link to this there. But again, this is not a promo for this band. This is me reacting to it, giving my honest thoughts. So let's go. Not gonna lie, thought that said Dyson, the Hoover brand. Video's cool so far. Iron Maiden jumper. So again, it's 3 parts. This is part 1, Beneath a Burning Sky. There's ambience, dissonant guitars building. Oh, and then we're on a K trip in Amsterdam. Okay. Oh, that's fucking weird. My right ear is being molested. I like that with the kids going past. I don't know if that was intentional. I may have just ruined that moment, and I'm sorry, so I'm going to bring it back. But I did like, whether or not that was intentional or not, I do appreciate the small details where the children, or the child laugh, I guess it was a child laugh, it may have just been a female laugh, but it did kind of sound like a younger kid as the kids walked across the screen. It just feels more immersive. Video's pretty cool though. raw sounding guitar tone. Those bends are nice. Again, loving the ambient strings that are still in the background. The ding, ding, ding. Hey, we're going through all the motions here. A lot of tempo switches. Thought we were going to get into like a Meshuggah slash Periphery-esque beatdown breakdown there. Just the way that gentle tone was kind of building up with the mutes. I love the budget cinematography shots. Standing in his back garden with the guitar. I see the cat in the background as well. I don't know if we're still in part 1 here. I'm guessing we'll get like a notification to say it's part 2 starting. We're gonna get some acoustic moments now. Is this what we're leading into?
What if I told you that you can use motion array to improve your videos fast? For example, you can create a professional opener just like this. As a content creator,
what do I do? Do I just continue, or do I try and find an ad blocker right now? The poor man has paid for this tier and I've got a fucking ad in the middle of it. I am an actual disaster. Dilemma. This is me having a dilemma live. Do I just stop this now? If I just get YouTube Premium right now, I'll avoid the ads. But also someone said I can just get a VPN where I like show up in Turkey and then I don't have to pay for YouTube Premium. Maybe I'll just do like a little transition into this part because I am cheap as fuck. Oh man, that's bad. I'm an idiot. That is bad. This man has literally paid for this tier and I've got an ad showing. Okay, this is actually my sign to do this like straight after this. I need to do that after this. Fuck. I'm sorry. That's bad. That is bad form for me. I'm taking full responsibility for this. Usually it's fine because I'm just doing reactions to shit and it's kind of like, I'll get over it. But now it's like, right, I actually need to fix this. So this is part 2. So we are going to get some acoustic. This is kind of what I expected. Would have been disappointed if we didn't get it. Again, sticking with the overall theme of the name of the track is that grayness that you see in complete darkness, if that makes sense. Kind of forgot that was the overall theme and now the video makes sense. Oh yeah. I got chills, not gonna lie.
Ein Blatt oder ein Duft kostet
German, I think. Yeah, it sounds very German, the vocals in the background.
Auch wunderbar als Geschenk für den Nachbarn. Zumindest, falls sein Automat gerade kaputt ist. Danke für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Wobei Ihre Stimmung jetzt entweder angeht ist oder angeschlossen.
The electric coming back in, that sounds sick. Feels like an Opeth track now. But like the good side of Opeth that I actually enjoy. Let's hope it doesn't go down the path of the Opeth stuff that I do not enjoy. Oh, the layered acoustic. Oh. Like I'm in Italia now. Never been in Italy, but I imagine this is what it would be like. Very artsy shot. Not exactly sure what it's trying to depict, but I appreciate the effort. We're teed up for a very dark, dense, breakdown infused outro for part 3. That's just the way it feels like it's going. It's kind of got like a dark undertone brewing. How long did it take, Peter, if you're watching this? Well, if you're watching this, the guy paid for the tier, I'm sure he's watching it. How long did it take to do a video? Okay, we've escaped without another ad. I'm happy. Here's that dark undertone starting to come to its climax.
When you're launching a new product,
2 weeks?
Grammarly's tone suggestions can help motivate your team with a
Peter, I'm
positive
so sorry.
approach.
I'm just... Motherfucker's talented. Even the artwork on screen reminds me of that Monuments feel. Maybe that Architect's artwork as well. But very kind of Tesseract-y Monuments rhythm in that bass. That's high praise. by Peter Bartlett, album art by Norca, visuals by Adam Adrian, logo design by Monsi. That was genuinely very impressive. And then the Dyson Hoover shout out at the end. I'm trying to be as objective as possible and call out maybe any negative points that I have, but generally they come to me a lot quicker than any of the positive points, which is kind of funny because I've just come off the back of listening to Hive's Exuvie, which is a project that people have asked me to check out, and I had quite a few choice words for some of the moments in that, and I've no problem saying it. So this one, honestly, the only thing I can really think of to maybe critique, now I don't think Peter is like actively really looking for a critique because this is like what, 4 years old, I'm guessing. I can see the comments on it. The release date was 4 years ago, so maybe he still is looking for critique, but I'm sure maybe some of the things that I can call out now aren't really too relevant to his work today, because obviously he said 4 years to maybe pick it up. So what I can hear is maybe, and again, it's probably just a product of how he wanted it to sound, so I can't really comment too much on it, but I would say the overall production sounds very, very good, but some of the guitar tones are very, very raw. All of the other mix sounds very well produced, very well rounded, very soothing, but the guitar tone is very raw. So again, that can be intentional in production, so I can't really say the guitar tone does sound like almost overly raw in certain parts. It sounds like kind of an old Tool album to a certain extent, some of the guitar tones, and obviously I came from hearing Tool albums being very well produced, you know, Fear Inoculum being very well produced, the guitar tones sound very crisp, but then going back in their discography, I could start to hear like even an Opiate, which I have on the wall behind me there, the guitar tone just gets that little bit more raw, it like rings out a little bit more. So again, that could be completely intentional in this project. So that's the only thing I can really think of. Like, that's very high praise that I don't really have much to even critique on. Like, that's genuinely honest. I have no fucking idea what to even critique on it. The overall feel, the pacing of it felt perfect. I don't know how hard it is to get that right, but I know I've listened to a lot of albums where the pacing is completely wrong. Like, even recently I listened to Peripheries P1 and I thought the pacing of it was too long. Like, this one felt like a good sized track. I know it's a 3-part, so it almost kind of falls into EP territory, but it also is a part of a bigger EP, which you guys can obviously check out as well. So guys, that was very, very good. It definitely has like a particular time and place in my listening experience or my listening day to day. Would it be something I would be actively like searching out in my day to day listening? Not particularly, but I feel like that could be one if I know I'm going on a drive. I'd stick it on in the car and kind of like let your brain wander. A lot of the music I listen to these days is very intense. This had intense moments, but I don't mind the intense moments when it is kind of like a big climactic moment in an overall very progressive track that is quite relaxing. Like, it was very atmospheric. Although it had like the grey undertones, it didn't feel too dark as well. Like, it feels like you could kind of listen to this driving through country back roads and all that kind of feel. So yeah, overall, again, the video production is very, very how do I say this? The video production is obviously very homemade, which is what I guess it's not trying to hide the fact that it's homemade. But yeah, overall, a very, very decent project from Dygn. So guys, that is the end of the video. Obviously, I'll leave all the links in the description if you do want to go check it out. It feels like one of these projects that I'd have to maybe sit with. If this, again, wasn't something that was through the Patreon tier, I feel like the exact things that I'd be saying was, yeah, it was nice, but I'd have to listen to it a few more times to really get the gist of it, where it's going. But yeah, again, I could feel the kind of build up slowly. Love the acoustic elements. There was a lot of cool, unique, it almost sounded like a full band, but I believe he's just a solo project, so that's impressive. Some people are just talented beyond belief, so it's kind of annoying that I'm just here and I can barely play one instrument. So yeah, guys, that is all going to be all for me. Obviously, the links will be in the description. Go support him if you want to. If not, it makes no difference to me. It's not a promo video. Yeah, that is all for me, guys. If you do want to get involved, patreon.com/DrewFortune, where you can request a single for me to react to and critique or enjoy. Who knows? It could be cool promo inadvertently, but it's not here to be a promo. It's just here to get me to post your video on the channel and give my honest thoughts, give you some feedback. So guys, that is all for me. Patreon.com/DrewFortune. I'm signing out. Look after yourselves. I'll see you in the next one. Apologies to Peter. Peter's going to be the martyr, because I'm now going to go and figure out how to get rid of the ads, because that was absolutely outrageous and I actually feel a bit embarrassed about that. So I am very sorry, Peter. I'll try and figure out in the edit if I can even get rid of all that. If not, I'm kind of fucking myself, because now I'm speaking about it and now it makes no sense if I've cut all that part out. So yeah, guys, see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.